Welcome back, everybody. Now, I don't want to tempt fate, but I'm starting to feel better. My energy is increasing. I'm still finding it's a bit lower than what it was before this latest mental health crisis, breakdown. I don't know what you want to call it, but something went wrong with my brain and I really had no energy. Some days I would be waking up at like 6 in the morning, 4 maybe, and not being able to actually get going until 12. I just could. My brain was so full of things it wanted to do. Brain was telling me, get up, go to the gym, get up, take the dog for a walk, go and enjoy nature, get out of bed, just do something, go and have a shower. But literally, body was like, absolutely not. What do you think we are? So, yeah. It's been a bit of a disaster, and like I say, trying to recover my energy levels, not happening. But, like tempting fate, I don't want to, but I seem to be turning a corner. It does mean that there is a heck of a lot to... Try again, Raquel. It does mean there is an awful lot of stuff to catch up on. There is dog hair absolutely everywhere. Where I started the declutters in the new year, my dining room is still packed to the rafters, full of stuff that needs to go to landfill, go to charity shops and the clothing banks. And I haven't got rid of them. It's that bad in my dining room that there are still the decorations from New Year. The balloons have been popped, but they are still all over the floor. There's one balloon that's been popped, but is still stuck to the wall. It is an epic disaster in my dining room. But we are now getting back on it. I'm feeling, like I say, lots better. It's just, there's so much to catch up on. I'm taking it slow because I am acutely aware that if I use this little energy burst I've got and decide to take on the whole house in one fell swoop, that I will exhaust myself and end up back where I was. So I'm taking it, not slowly. I want to get as much done as I can, but I am very aware of my body at the moment. I'm very aware of when I'm starting to run down. Normally at about 2-3 o'clock, I hit this wall of exhaustion. Yeah, exhaustion's the only word for it. See, to me, exhaustion conjures up words of being sleepy. You're exhausted, you go to bed, you sleep, you wake up the next morning and you're refreshed. That, to me, is what exhaustion brings to mind. But this is different. Like, I get really tired, like exhausted about 2-3 o'clock. I'll sit down on the sofa and I'll watch something on my phone, or I'll read my book, or I'll just sort of switch off and stare out into the garden and watch the birds or the sky or passing clouds, whatever. And I just don't seem to recover until the next morning. I did start scraping the floors because of the dog hair absolutely everywhere. And then I realised, actually, no, I can't be doing that. That's going to take far too long. And I need to get the house back to a decent standard. So scraping the dog hair is going to have to wait for another day. But yeah, as I was saying, I get so tired. And sitting down to rest, you'd think, reboot you. No, by 2-3 o'clock, I am done. The brain doesn't want to function anymore. My body doesn't want to function anymore. It is good night from me at about 2-3 o'clock. So I'm starting to listen to that. I get up now and get stuff done. And the more I do, the better I feel. And I know people have said it for many years, that the more exercise you do, the better you feel, and it helps with depression and rah. That's great. But how do you force one's body to do stuff when one's body is not listening to one's brain? My brain, and most other people's brains, control their body. Like little neurons fire off, send electrical impulses to the muscles, and the muscles fire and you move. From my understanding of biology, that's how the body works. Now, that means then that my body won't work without those electrical signals from my brain. Well, if brain isn't sending those signals to body, how is body supposed to move, get up and do things? It's just not gonna happen, is it? So, yeah, all these people out there telling you, oh, exercise for your mental health, it's fantastic. Yeah, it really is. Like I say, the more I do, the better I feel. But how do I make brain send those signals to body when brain doesn't want to? When I figure that out, I'll let you know. I'll probably be a rich person if I figure that out. Thinking about it, actually, though, there is a guy I follow on a lot of social media platforms, and he talks to his brain. He reckons that you can control your own brain. Which, I mean, if you think about it, makes kind of sense. I mean, the brain controls the body. We know that. But if the body controls the brain, then who's controlling who? So there has to be a control centre. Now, this guy, he talks to his brain. And if the brain's not, he calls his brain Becky. And if the brain isn't giving him helpful information, helpful thought process or whatever, he'll literally say, like, Becky, could you tell me what to do about that? Or Becky, could you give me, like, more happy thought patterns and things like that? And he says Becky will respond. Now, I have kind of tried it, and it does kind of work. When I go to bed at night, sometimes I can't sleep. My brain likes to rebel against me, and it will give me its very own horror movie. I mean, genuinely, sometimes you can't write the stuff that goes on in my brain. It is terrifying. Terrifying. My brain will show me mental images of things, you know, like on those jump scare horror movies where things just sort of flash out at you. That's what my brain does. Only it literally gives me front row seats to this. And I will see in my mind's eye like these scary faces and horrible, horrifically frightening things jumping out of the darkness at me. It's terrifying. But if I can stay calm enough for just a fraction of a second, which generally is possible, I can say to my brain, that's not a helpful thought pattern, is it? Is this going to help us sleep and get rest? No, it's not. Could you give me something more conducive to a restful night's sleep? Or could you stop doing daft things like that, please, and give me some nice mental pictures? And then I'm finding it's happening very slowly. Like, I'll get pictures of like bunny rabbits and daffodils and things like that all happy, and then it will go flashing back to this horror movie, and I have to sort of go back in and say to brain, I asked for nice pictures and things like that. Now, you can think I'm crazy. Most people do think I'm crazy, and actually I probably am. And I don't know if this is a helpful thing to do. I don't know if, like, psychologically it's good to do this. But this guy recommends it. And yeah, I do find it kind of works. Now, if I can just get the wherewithal to do it when my brain is depressed, we could be onto something. If I can wake up in the morning and brain's like, no, just stay in bed. Stay warm, we don't want to get up, it's safe here and we're comfy here and you like being asleep. And I can say to brain, that's not very helpful. We've got lots to do today and we need to be productive. We like being productive. Could you give me some productive thoughts and help me move body out of bed? Maybe brain will work with me. Of course, maybe I'll just scroll on one of the social media platforms for another 3 hours, but who knows, it's worth a try. I'll let you know how I get on. Perhaps he could be onto something. Unfortunately, that will make him the rich person because I won't be the person that come up with it, so I won't get the hurrah funding for it. But hey, at least, it's going to be out there. If it works and he's come up with it and it works, at least a lot of people are going to get some practical help. Now, talking of the exhaustion, I've just cleaned Alyssa's room and Craig's room, and this is the result. I am absolutely scuppered. I tried to get up then, and that was about all I managed. And even getting up was just like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. When I'm starting to run out of energy, it feels like I'm running out of energy. Yeah, that's a really good description, isn't it? When I'm running out of energy, it feels like I'm running out of energy. I don't know how to describe it. It's like being unplugged. You know, when you've got a radio, battery powered radio, for those of you that remember battery powered radios, when the batteries used to run out on your cassette player, like your Walkman, for those of us that remember Walkmans, slowly, like the music would and get very slow, and then it would just stop. That's what happens. It's like I'm going normal, I'm sort of jiving along, doing my thing, and then all of a sudden it's like swimming through treacle and then stop. And that there's no option on it. It just, as soon as I feel that swimming through treacle phase, I used to push through. I used to just keep going. Yes, let's swim through treacle. Let's just keep moving. And then I'd end up absolutely scuppered. And that's why the house only got cleaned one day a week. Because on that one day, let's say Thursday, on the Thursday, I would clean the whole house, top to bottom. Everything would get done. It'd get a thorough, good clean. But of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the next few days, I literally would be so exhausted because I'd have to fight through that treacle phase and through the exhaustion phase and into just numbness because I'd just keep going. Someone said about the dog not liking the blanket because it didn't smell like us. So I thought, stuff it, I'll have a nice lay down and try and make the blanket smell like us. I can't remember if it worked or not. But hey, it gave me a lay down. It gave me a little try and tired me out again too. But yeah, I don't do that anymore, she says, carrying on cleaning even though she's tired. But I try not to do it so much anymore. I rest when my body says rest. I'm actually wondering now if that's what happens to all these people. I mean, what we've got to be very mindful of is on social media, what we're seeing is a small glimpse of someone's life. Yes, we may think this is their reality 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. I don't know, however many days there are in a year. But we think they live like this permanently. And actually, when the cameras go off, they probably live a completely different life. I mean, I do not spend 24 hours a day cleaning. I mean, that's obvious by the untidiness and sometimes dirtiness of my house. And I'm pretty sure there are other creators out there whose houses aren't as pristine as the camera shows them to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are seeing life through that camera. And we have to be mindful that we are seeing that snippet. But I wonder if it does affect people. Like, are these people managing to only clean 1 day a week? And because they're only cleaning 1 day a week, they are exhausting themselves and then they don't have any energy left to clean for the rest of the week. And it's kind of a vicious circle. You clean full pelt for 1 day and then have no energy left to clean Friday, Saturday, Sunday and the rest of the week. And then all of a sudden it gets back round to that 1 day a week and you've got a week's worth of mess to clean up and you exhaust yourself again doing an entire week's worth of cleaning in 1 day. And I wonder if that's it. I wonder if that's what's happening. Perhaps it's worth just rest completely. Mind you, then again, you've got the other tine to the fork, should we say. If you rest completely, you just don't do anything, you listen to your body, you're exhausted, and you just rest completely. The mess builds up around you, as it has done for me. I'm speaking literally from experience here. I decided rest completely. I was mentally and physically tired. Rested completely. The mess built up around me. And the more the mess built up around me, the more visual noise there was. The more visual noise there is, the more tired you get. Which, again, fights that battle. I think for me personally, the way I seem to have brought myself round out of this is by sort of decluttering and doing one room at a time. So I started with our room. Obviously, if you've got smaller children, you might have to change your priorities. But, you know, my kids, like I say, if it gets bad enough for them, they know how to deal with it. They are more than capable of dealing with their own mess. So I started in our room. I did a big declutter in our room. I made sure my bedroom was a beautiful, as beautiful as I could do. We have to redecorate. It's driving me nuts. I tried to improve it by taking all of the skirting boards off and the picture rails off and everything. And it's just made it worse because I'm not a professional fitter and chippy and stuff like that. So I've made it worse, but that's the story for another day. Anyway, I made the bedroom as restful as I could. I cleared as much visual clutter as I possibly could. And the rest of the stuff was moved to more practical places. So I've really diminished the amount of mess that's in here. And I found that it was nice, I could relax in the bedroom and feel more, restful sleep and stuff like that. But from there, that gave me the energy to then go on and do Alyssa's room. Craig's room's never been that bad. He gets untidy. There's a bit of mess in there, but 5 minutes, whoop, and it's clean. It's done. It's not a problem. He doesn't have a lot of clutter, so his room's not too bad. But it gave me that knock-on effect to do one room after the other, and the more rooms I did, the better I felt. So perhaps if you are suffering with a lot of visual clutter, a lot of mess, and you're finding you are exhausted all the time mentally and physically, and you can't keep on top of everything, declutter one room at a time. Perhaps start, for me, there are priorities. Like, if you've got small children, a family, then probably the best place to start would be the kitchen. The kitchen, so you can prepare a nice, healthy, balanced, home-cooked meal. It's really easy for you to wash up the plates and the cups and that sort of thing. There's not old food, so you're not fighting through packets of expired food to get to the food you want, because we've all got a packet of expired food in our cupboard, I'm pretty sure of it. I've just done ours, so thinking about it, yes I do. We all do. There's always a packet of custard or something somewhere at the back of our cupboard that's probably expired. But clear it out. Then you can have so much easy access to the food you've got. You can budget better. You can make better meals. And from there, your energy levels are going to increase, because that one job is easy just to quickly wipe round your kitchen, wash up, done. And also you've got those good home-cooked meals going in that are going to help you feel more nutritionally satisfied. You're going to get better sleep and stuff like that. Start with the kitchen. And then from there, perhaps the bedroom, so you can get a good night's sleep. And then the bathroom, so you can have a nice relaxing bath. And then the living room, so you can all sit together and have family time. But do it a bit at a time. And you find the more you do, the more you want to do. I wonder if that's the way to do it. Seems to be working for me anyway. I think something else I need to try is not taking my phone to bed with me. Oh, that's bad. I can literally scroll for hours. I normally go to bed about 9 o'clock. And I can scroll until midnight, gone midnight. And then I get tired, put my phone down, and then I can't sleep. I literally wake up as soon as I put my phone down. It's horrendous, and I need to stop it. I did it last night, actually. I didn't go on my phone. I just put my phone down and snuggled down, and literally out like a light. I had the best dreams. Oh, love dreaming. But when I wake up in the morning as well, straight on my phone, check emails that I'd got overnight, any comments, anything like that. And literally, boom, overnight, I get caught scrolling again. I need to stop it. The phone cannot come to bed with me anymore. It has to stay downstairs. Having this sick leave really is teaching me an awful lot about myself. It's allowed me the time to dig deep. I'm also seeing the mental health team at the local community mental health hub. And I don't think they're helping me yet. It's still the assessment period, but it's allowing me to sort of dig deep into my own mental health. So I suppose they are kind of helping me, even though I'm not on the treatment part of the cycle yet. Ah, baby cat. I didn't realise the little monkey had snuck in. She disappears under the bed. There she goes. I had no idea she was in here. No idea. I didn't see her sneak in. I, at this point in time, have got no idea she is in the room. So it's a good job we don't shut the door. Because, she'd have been shut in the bedroom and that would have been very sad. She wouldn't have been a happy kitty. Bless her. Yeah, as I say, with the mental health teams, they're allowing me to delve deep, and I've been doing an awful lot of self-help stuff online, which is really, really helping me uncover some stuff. And I do, like I say, I feel better. I still don't like being outside. If I'm away from the house for too long or I go too far, oh, makes me twitchy. I can't do it. It's scary. I think going to my sister's wasn't so bad. What's actually got to hers, it was okay, because where she lives, well, she lives just outside of our hometown. My hometown is St Albans in Hertfordshire. It's where I was pretty much born and raised. I lived there from like baby. So when I go back to St Albans or anywhere in that local area, it's like going home again anyway. So I don't feel so bad once I'm actually there. But the car journey down, oh, it's scary. It's horrendously bad. I'm so far from home. It takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get there. And yeah, it's a long way and it's a long time. And I do not like it at all. I don't. I have to try and, I take, what's it called? Lion's Mane. And I've got my frankincense oil to try and help calm me. And it's literally the only way I can get down there. And even then, I go down there very rarely. It's horrendously terrifying. But like I say, once I'm there, I'm okay. But after a little while, it's like, okay, I really need to start going back home now. And then you've got the journey in the car, again, back where you're not near what you know. And yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's horrible. Ooh, where'd that accent come from? I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. Yeah, like I said, I am doing some massive self-help stuff, and I'm realizing there's a lot of changes I need to make to my life. Now, one of those changes, hopefully, I've got to speak to work about it, is going reduced hours. Currently, I work about 30 odd hours a week at my work. But I want to drop that down 5 days a week for 5 hours a day, 4 days a week. So I want to do 20 hours total. And I'm hoping that having the less time at work will allow me to balance more at home. Because at the moment, I don't think it's practical. I don't think working pretty much full time at work and then coming home and doing full time here, as well as being a mother and a wife, it's just too much. It's too much for me. I can't do it. So I want to reduce my hours until I can get to a point where I'm balanced. And hopefully that won't last too long. I'll do 20 hours a week, if they'll allow me. And then once I'm feeling balanced and I've got things going good, perhaps maybe I can add a couple more hours and then eventually go back full time. But I think if I go full time, I'm going to end up exhausting myself again. It's going to be too much. Coming home from... I know there's people out there who can do it, and full respect to you, honestly. But I can't. With this bathroom, I'm sorry guys, I did try and film in here, but there's so much stuff, so little space. I just did you a before and after. So here is... my toilet has been flushed. That is scale, like lime scale. It's atrocious. It's horrible. And we did get interrupted halfway through this bathroom clean because apparently the drains was blocked. So I had to go out with Dell and we had to rod the drains and unclog the drains, which was a pleasant experience, but also an exhausting experience. So I only managed to get the bathroom cleaned. And then I had to stop for the evening and start again the next day. Yeah, it wasn't great. But there is clean bathroom, all done. Going back to the working full-time cleaning thing. I'm sorry, guys. I change subjects fast on my videos, so try and keep up if you can, bless you. Oh, I had headphones in. Oh, I love this. Put headphones in, have a good old sing and a dance. I've got Ghost on at the minute. I think it's playing the song Little Sunshine. I had to keep taking him out, though, because Dell kept appearing at the door like he wanted to talk to me, and it's like, do you need me? And he's like, no. Just watching. Okay, fair enough. So I could go back to dancing. Anyway, going back to what I was saying about, working full time. People have asked, why don't you get, like, the family to help and get them to do stuff? Well, like I've said before, if I ask them to do things, they may. I have learnt though that it's just so much easier to do it myself. At one point, I mean, we had bugs. Someone said just leave like the kids' rooms. They were old enough at the time. They knew how to clean their rooms. Just leave the room and let them clean it themselves. And eventually they'll get tired and bored of the mess. And they'll clean it themselves. And I thought, well, okay. You know, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're so used to mummy coming in and doing it for them anyway, that maybe that is why they are leaving it. They're not interested in doing anything. So we'll try it. We'll try this method. I'll keep an eye on it so no one's in danger. But we'll try it. Well, Craig, I can't remember what he put in his bin. I think he scraped his dinner plate off into his bin. Or, no, it was chicken wings or chicken drumsticks. And he'd thrown the drumstick bones in his bin. I hadn't realised because I wasn't cleaning his bin out. And I wasn't going into his room to clear up after him and things like that. And I came up to his room one night and I went in there for something. Be darned if I remember what I went in there for, but I went in there for something. And I saw something on the floor and it was a little maggot and I was like, oh, that's odd. Where's that come from? So I sort of picked it up, and as I was picking it up, I noticed a couple more. And I was like, what is going on? Yeah, he actually had critters in his room because it hadn't been cleaned. And, like, yeah, this is the sort of thing that could happen. And now, I don't want to live with critters in my house. I'm sorry, but I don't. And I don't want to live knowing my kids are going to school with dirty clothes. Not school with dirty clothes. I mean, they're grown up now. They don't go to school with dirty clothes. They wouldn't have done even if they were younger. I wouldn't have done it. I'd clean their clothes. I don't care. Whether they should learn to do it themselves or not. They are not leaving my house with dirty clothes. No. So anyway, now they're old enough. I still don't want them going out dirty. I don't want critters. I don't want overflowing bins in my house. Once they've moved out, once they're in their own little worlds, in their own little homes and things like that, if they choose not to do it then, and they want to choose to live with little critters, and they want to choose to live with dirty, smelly home environments, that's their lookout. They're adults, they're old enough, they can deal with it. And honestly, I don't think they will. I think what's happening at the moment is what I intended to happen all along. My children are enjoying being young, being free, being children. When they were at school, I looked after all their housework, all their cleaning and all that, because they were at school, they were too young. Once they learned how to do it, if I asked for help, they'd help. But it just was easier to do it myself because they'd help and it still won't be quite right. And now, as young adults, I want them to enjoy this freedom. When they get their own houses, they are going to have enough of this anyway. And I don't... Sorry, I'm just watching me dance. It's hilarious. I did sing on this, but I'm not going to play that. I don't know if it'll get copyrighted, so I don't want to play me singing, but I am singing away as well. Sorry to my neighbours. They've probably heard me howling. But yeah, as I was saying, my children, I want them to enjoy young adulthood. I want them to enjoy their childhoods. There's going to be enough time for cleaning and this boredom misery. At least they're going to be able to look back when they were younger and be like, no, my childhood was full of fun and excitement and things like I always came home to a clean house, almost always. Like I say, my dining room, we're overwhelmed with the dining room at the minute. But they come home to a pretty much clean house every day and they don't have to worry about it. So that's why I do, and that's why I don't overly ask my family for help, and that's why they don't overly help, because I would rather them not. Now, when it comes to Dell, I moan at Dell sometimes because he doesn't seem to be bothered by the mess. For him, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. If he needs something, I was asking him the other day, aren't you bothered by it? You know, don't you think it would be nice to have the mess dealt with before it becomes a problem? And he's like, well, no. I deal with it when it becomes a problem. So He won't wash up until he needs clean plates or clean pans to cook dinner. Because there's no emergent need, he doesn't do it. He won't do laundry until he's run out of socks or clothes, because there's no emergent need. So for Dell, he has to wait until there's an emergent need to do stuff. For me, I like to be a little more prepared. I like to know that tomorrow I've got clean clothes to wear. So I don't have to wake up and be like, oh my God, and panic. I can just wake up, get it done. So there's a difference in how we perceive the mess and how we deal with it. And for me, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, for me, I like to be a bit more prepared. To be fair, the kitchen's his domain, so I tend to leave that be. But yeah, if that's how he wants to live his life, I can't moan at him. He's okay with that. He's happy with that. I'm not. So therefore, I have to deal with my issues the way I have to deal with my issues. And like I say, sometimes I'll say to him, look, babe, could you please do X, Y, and Z? I need that done now for my own mental well-being. And he will do it. But for him, he's happy to wait. So sometimes he'll be like, I don't know what he'll be like. But yeah, he's happy to leave it until I ask him to help, and then he'll help. But other than that, it's just what works for us. It really does. And sometimes it gets me down. And they all know sometimes mummy will go a bit berserk and I'll be upset because no one's helping. And then they'll remind me, actually, I don't want help and I don't need it. And I say that like, they're like, you don't want help and you don't need help. That's not how I mean it at all. Yes, I want help, but I don't want them in my space all the time trying to help. I know what I mean. I wish I could describe to you guys what I mean. It's very hard to describe what I mean, but I know what I mean, and that's kind of all that matters. But yeah, what works for our family might not work for your family, and that is absolutely fine. It doesn't have to. And what works for your lot might not work for my lot, and that's fine. At the end of the day, as long as everybody is happy, everybody is clean and fed, then life's a good one. Life's a good one, really, isn't it? We spend far too much of our time worrying about why other people aren't doing it our way, why this isn't happening as it should. It's none of anyone's business. And yep, I'm putting my life out there on the internet. Great. And I know people are going to judge me, and that is fine. But I just think, in general, as a species, we could be a little more understanding of each other. We could be a little more understanding of, or accepting of, what works for other people and what works for us. You know, I hope you all know what I'm trying to say. I really do. Right, that was what I wiped the side down with, a dirty tea towel. And when I clean the sides, I do the washing up, then I wipe down with a dirty tea towel, just to clear the crummies, any puddles of water, any general yick on the side. That's wax I'm scraping off there. Somehow, I don't know how, wax keeps appearing on my worktops, but hey. Yeah, so after I've done the washing up, I wipe the side down with the tea towel. And that just knocks, like I say, all the dirty crummies off and any puddles, anything like that. Then I'll go in with either the antibacterial spray or in this case, the bleach spray. There is some sort of gunk glued onto this work surface. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to give it a quick spray with the bleach and just let it sit for a little while. Now, I'm not sure if I recorded it or not, but I do go back, I do scrape it off and do get rid of it. So if you don't see me doing it on the video, don't think I just left crusted on food covered in bleach sitting on my worktop. I didn't. I go back for it. I just can't remember if I recorded it or not. It was stubborn though. It would not come off. And this isn't worktop, is it? No, this is a cooker. Can you tell how much I go into the kitchen? I've just called this a worktop, and it's not a worktop, it's a cooker. Ridiculousness. Anyway, there's dried off food on here as well. I had to get like one of those scraper things to get it off. I need to clean this kitchen more often. I used to do it quite regularly, but since Dell's been unemployed and I've been off work as well, The kitchen's just sort of Dell's domain. And we've both sort of just festered, really. We've both done very little. It's like there's no urgency for anything anymore. We know we're going to be off tomorrow, so we'll just do it tomorrow. Well, actually, no, we need to get it done today because dried on food on your cooker tops and your work surfaces is not great. My sister got me this little electric wax melt burner. I say she got it for me. She donated it to me. She had it in her place and now it's happily in mine. I love it. I can leave it plugged in. It's got its own little thermostat on it, so I've not got to worry about it getting too hot. And if I don't like to forget it's on and go out, but if I happen to, there's no flames, there's no fire risks. I love it. Now, I have a little update for you guys on this whole rinsing after you wash up saga. Firstly, I am very puzzled, so if any of you have any idea, I would like answers, please. I have one sink and one draining board. If I wash up my plates, I fill the sink full of water, I wash them, I put them on the draining board. They're all soapy. How do I rinse them? How do I rinse them? If I don't fill the sink up fully, I can't wash them properly. Because my idea is if I half fill the sink, I can wash the plate and slowly rinse as I'm washing up, right? I'm only going to fill the sink fully by the time I've finished. And I can rinse as I go. But firstly, that means the water in the sink is either going to get stupidly hot or stupidly cold. Because I'm only going to be running one tap at a time, right? If I run both taps, I'm going to overfill my sink. So that seems completely illogical. Then there's the other school of thought. Well, if I wash all the plates up and put them on the draining board, then I can rinse them before I dry them. Okay, fantastic. Where do I put the plates after I've rinsed them? I've only got one draining board and I can't put the rinse plate back on the draining board because it's going to get covered in soap again. So that's not practical. Now, I suppose I could rinse it and then straight away dry it up. But then the plate's going to be extremely wet. And my tea towel's going to get really wet. Now, I could, I suppose, go through 3 or 4 tea towels in one drying up session. I don't understand how I'm supposed to rinse my plates after I've washed up. I'm never going to be fair. I'm never going to. But I would like to know how people are rinsing their dishes after they've washed up when they've only got one sink and one draining board. So please, guys, do let me know in the comments below how you are rinsing your dishes if you are one of the fellow rinsers. Like I say, I'm probably never going to do it, but I really am interested to find out. But on this subject, I found a video the other day of someone saying that they don't, if you think of your dishes like you don't have a bath and then have a shower. So basically you're bathing your plates and then rinsing them would be the shower, right? I hope you're following me in this analogy here. And someone was like, you don't have a bath and then have a shower. Now that sparked a whole other argument. There are people out there that are having a bath and then having a shower. I don't know what kind of craziness I've slipped into here because that sounds totally balmy to me. No offence to you if you are one of those people that is having a bath and then having a shower. You know, you do you, boo. Who am I to argue? But that just sounds so strange. Just have the shower or just have the bath. You know, if you're dirty enough that having a bath means you're going to get out and still be dirty enough to need to be rinsed, just have the shower. If you're having a bath because you just want to do that, relaxing after a long day with the bubbles and the candles, then you're not really that dirty. And just have the bath and get out and dry yourself with a towel. I don't understand this need to rinse everything. I don't understand it. It's fine. I mean, like I say, if you are one of the rinse brigade, great. But it just seems like so much of a waste of water. And I'm going to test it, actually. I am going to test it. I'm going to take 2 plates or 2 cups and I'm going to make someone drink. out of a rinsed cup and a non-rinsed cup and see if they can tell the difference, because I don't think you can. I know at the moment there's a lot of excitement about like microplastics. They're in everything. And because like your food or your water has come into contact with plastic, then there's microplastics. So I know there's a lot of stuff a minute about that. And I'm wondering if maybe that's the same worry people have, like microscopic particles of soap being ingested, and could that cause a long-term problem? I don't know. I've never actually read the back of the washing up bottle to say if it says I should rinse or not. I just never have done. Quite frankly, I would really like a dishwasher though. Once we get room for a dishwasher. Oh, I'd love one. I love the way they just come out so clean, like they squeak clean. And you know they've got to such a hot temperature that there are no germs on them. But also, and this sounds so bizarre, they've been rinsed. And I know, I don't rinse at the moment. I never will. I never have done. It's not on my plans. I really don't care. But for some reason, knowing that they've been rinsed in the dishwasher and cleaned just makes them seem so much cleaner. And I love it. Why don't you rinse your plates then, Raquel? I don't know. I just can't be bothered. It doesn't have any importance to me. But if the dishwasher's going to do it for me, then yes, I quite like that, actually. So I will have my plates rinsed. Thank you very much. I'm guessing it's probably like the same reason. Why don't you have like a banquet meal or like a nutritionally balanced meal? It's not because I can't be asked to cook it and I have no idea how to cook it. So, but if someone's going to cook it for me, yes, please, I'll have that. Or why don't you... I don't know, I've run out of ideas because I do most things. I'm thinking like, why don't you iron your bed sheets? Well, I do iron my bed sheets, so that's kind of pointless. But yeah, you know what I mean. If something's going to do it for you, why not have it done for you and enjoy it? I just ain't going to be rinsing my own plates. It's not something that bothers me. I was toying with the idea of doing a deep clean in the kitchen today. But no, I decided that it would probably be better to do what I actually planned on doing and just cleaning the kitchen down rather than doing the deep clean. But there will be a deep clean and organise of the kitchen going on very, very soon. But I think priority is going to have to go to the dining room before I start in here. My plan was to get the whole house deep cleaned, have it all in the dining room and then literally use the dining room as a hub to distribute all the stuff. However, no. It's just not going to work like that. It's getting to the point where you can't really walk through the dining room anymore. I do have feeder locusts for the tarantulas. I can barely get to them anymore to switch them on, like their heating lamps and that on. I can barely get to them to feed them. I do, so they are being taken care of. Please don't panic. My locusts are being fed and watered and happy. But it's getting really difficult to get to them, so I need to prioritise the dining room before I prioritise the kitchen. So we're going to be doing dining room next, guys. Then we'll be on to the kitchen. And then I'm thinking there's just going to be like a short video for the bathroom, the hallway. Craig's room's pointless. So yeah, there'll be a short video just doing like the extra little bits. I might add that onto the kitchen actually, because I think the kitchen's going to be a pretty quick one as well. So we'll see how it goes, but there is definitely going to be a dining room deep clean and a kitchen deep clean on the list of deep clean videos coming up. I've also got a car deep clean video that's on ready to go. And there's going to be, I think, 2 more, maybe 3 more of those. Although they'll be coming more towards the summer months because obviously if I use the Aquavac, those cars are just going to get moulded because I can't dry them out. But there's going to be lots more of exciting videos to come. Now, I am getting through the laundry as well. For some reason, laundry builds up really quick in this house. Probably because I don't do it daily. That's probably why, Raquel. Yeah. If you don't wash clothes daily, they build up. They don't clean themselves. I'm finding, actually, there's more jobs need doing daily than I initially thought. I thought, like, I know washing up needs to be done daily. But, like, laundry, I thought that could be done every couple of days. No, in this house, daily. Maybe, like, I don't know, taking the bins out. It could be done daily. There's so many more daily jobs. There was a small interruption here. Now, you've literally just seen me put the washing machine on and it's ended. Dell made me a cup of coffee. So I put the washing machine on, went and drank the cup of coffee, and have now come back to it to finish cleaning the kitchen. So I get to change the laundry load over. You're also not going to see me mop the floor. Now, I do mop the floor. The thing is, I have to make sure no one's home when I mop the floor, because as soon as I mop it, the very minute I mop it, somebody wants to be the far end of the kitchen. The dog, the cat, one of the kids, Dell, me, because I've forgotten something. Someone wants to be the far end of the kitchen before the floor's dried. And then you get little footprints. And that just irritates me. So I have to make sure no one's awake or in when I mop the floor. So I did do it the very next day. But it is done. If I sweep the floors and the floors are clear, then I will mop them. But yeah, I don't know where all this ick comes from though. The hair I get, that's falling out of the dog and probably out of people all the time. So the hair I understand. But there's like grit, like little sandy bits. There's little sharp bits, like little pebbles and stones. There's bits of rubbish, like little cardboard bits. I mean, is it really that difficult to put something in? Oh, I know where it's come from. It's not hard to put stuff in the bin, but when the bin's overflowing because they don't get taken out as regularly as they should, bits fall on the floor, and that's where bits come from. Also, one of my biggest annoyances with myself, there are many, but one of the biggest ones, is I tend not to complete jobs. I'll start one and then... No, not completing it. Sorry, it's just not happening. So I'll sweep the floor, I'll get it to this corner, and then forget about it. And then, for some reason, people come along, they bring their dirty clothes downstairs, and then just sort of drop them on the floor, on top of the crummy pile. But this hides crummy pile until I find crummy pile again, and then take care of crummy pile. It's just what happens. It's just this house. It's just me. I'm too bone-idle and lazy to do everything all at once. That's not the case at all. Well, I suppose in some circumstances it is. I think it is with all of us. We've all had days where we just can't be bothered to do stuff, so we just don't do it. I don't see anything wrong with that. Why do we always have to be living in pristine, immaculate homes? You know, as long as no one's getting ill from it, I don't see as it matters so much. Or is that just my excuse to go on being lazy? Doesn't matter. No one's sick yet. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of dull. The only time I'll clean the house is when someone's ill, because clearly it's an emergent need. I need to clean because now people are getting sick. That's not, I don't do that. I don't do that. I promise I don't do that. My house gets a full clean once a week. I think I don't like cleaning every day. Or I didn't. I kind of do now. But I don't like cleaning every day. There's more to life than ensuring that everything is pristine and smelling beautiful and fresh until I get in one of my cleaning modes, and then that's the only thing that in the world that matters. Everything's organised, tidy, clean and pristine. And then I'll run out of energy, and then for a couple of weeks or whatever, I really don't care. No one's ill. It's fine. It'll wait. I swear this is the argument that's been happening in my brain since November time. November time was when this whole mental health started. And that's kind of the argument that's been happening in my brain. I am one walking contradiction. I want it clean and tidy, but I can't bother to clean and tidy it. That's it. Sometimes though, it swings the opposite way. I want it immaculate. I want everything pristine and exactly where it should be. And then I run out of energy, and then it just slips back to ick, even though in my brain I'm screaming, I desperately want it perfect. Although, a lot of people are telling me perfect isn't real. You can't have perfection. Now, I beg to differ on that. It depends on your level of perfection, I think. Now, I know, perfection is perfection. That's what perfection is. What I mean is, I think it depends on what you expect to be perfect. If you expect your whole house to be perfect, I think you can achieve that. I think it's possible depending on like what you want. I want walls that are straight and not full of holes. And I want the white paint from the skirting boards to only be on the skirting boards and not a little bit on the wall. I want the paint from the walls to only be on the walls and not a little bit on the ceiling. I'd like carpet and lino that doesn't have bald spots or holes in it. I would like flower beds that are full of flowers and not weeds and grass. I would like, what would I like? Curtains that don't have that gap in the middle where that little centre support is. That's what I would like. I'd like matching furniture. I'd like matching paint decor throughout the house, like a similar colour scheme. I think perfect is attainable when you're looking at things like that. I don't know about other things, but yeah, everyone telling me perfect isn't attainable. I don't know if you're right. I think perfect is fully attainable. Having said that, I think it's going to be a lot of hard work and effort. I really do. And I'd like to get there. I don't know if I ever will, but I'd like to. Perhaps when I'm retired, semi-retired, or working from home, perhaps then I can have perfect. Because I'll be here. I'll be at home to do all the gardening and things like that. That's the dream, isn't it? I think for me, that's the dream. I want to be at home, doing all the gardening, doing the decorating, doing the cleaning, earning enough to do it all properly. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be at home, earning money, doing enough that I can do my house up, do the garden up, have everything looking pretty, pristine and perfect. That's the dream. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want, and that's what I'm going to have to go for. That's what I'm going to have to spend this year working towards and fighting for, maybe. Maybe that's what I do. I don't know, it's scary. I've always had a job. I've always been employed by someone. I wonder if there's work from home jobs you can get where you're employed by someone that mean you're at home earning enough money. Mind you, if I'm at home earning money, I won't be able to be doing the things I want to do. You know, I can't be working for a telecommunication centre and doing the gardening while I'm talking Mavis through her latest IT system or something, you know? There's something to think about. Who knows? Who knows what this year will bring? But that would be ideal. And the sooner I can have it, the better, because I'm not one of those patient people. I'm not one of those people that likes to wait for things or can wait for things. I want it instantly. Like, I want summer here already so I can have my garden in bloom. And then I want to have my grass all at a certain length so that when the snow falls, it looks like even, crisp and clean. Yeah, I'm not a patient person in the slightest. I really am not. I want it done yesterday. It still bugs me to no end to know that I still haven't repaired the decorating damage from having the new heating system installed. It bugs me to no end. I hate it. But, you know, I want to do it properly. I want to make sure that the colours I've picked out are absolutely amazing. I have seen the most perfect hallway decor. I can't remember who it was posted on, like Pinterest or something. But I found it, or could it have been on like Instagram? Either way, I found a picture of it and I fell in love. So basically what you've got is a carpet runner up the middle of the stairs. It's like a nice sort of a beigey colour and it's got like a black trim. It's gorgeous. You paint the outside of the stairs white where the runner's not. Then you've got wainscoting, or however you pronounce that word, halfway up the wall with the most beautiful colour. I don't know what colour it is. If I was to describe it, I'd say it's kind of like a mushroomy, greeny grey. Oh, it's gorgeous colour. And then the top is like a almost white kind of cream colour. And then they've got like these picture frames now. I've got the picture frames already. Oh, so excited. I haven't brought them. They're in the house already just because they're just there. So I've got the picture frames already. Black picture frames. And then this like mirror on the wall that's like lots of little square mirrors, like 6 or 8 square mirrors. Hang on, no, it'd be 12. So 2 rows of 6 high square mirrors that would go on like that weird high wall thing. Is it called like a vaulted ceiling? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, goes on there. Oh, it looks gorgeous. One of the things I am going to have to figure out if I can do legally and safely is box in my electric meters. I believe you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm sure I've seen cupboards for electric meters and fuse boxes and things like that. But I'm going to check it out because obviously I don't want to be violating any health and safety. I want them boxed in because at the bottom of the stairs, every time you leave in the house or you're coming downstairs and you go into the bathroom, that monstrosity of wires and boxes just sits there looking nasty. I really hate it. So I'm going to see about getting them boxed in. But oh my God, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I love it. This is the only thing that's putting me off going back to work on reduced hours. I want the money. I want enough money that I can redecorate the whole house top to bottom. I can have the garden sorted. And for that, I is going to need money. And without Dale working at the moment, it's down to me to bring in enough money to pay all the bills and sort out those projects. And that there sort of strikes a fear into me. If I work full-time, I have the money to do the projects. Fabulous. Fabulous. I can afford all the bills, pretty much do some of the projects. Fabulous. However, I won't have time to do those projects. I also won't have time to stay on top of the housework, which means I'm going to get overwhelmed and exhausted again. And if I get overwhelmed and exhausted again, then I have to take time off sick again. And if I take time off sick again, that means I don't have the money to do those projects. But if I don't go back to work, like full-time again, then I don't have money to do those projects. But I can stay on top of the housework and keep it all nice and clean and tidy. It's a balancing act, isn't it? I'll figure it out. I think what I do is I go back to work part-time, assuming they'll let me reduce my hours. I still don't know if they will. I haven't asked them yet. I don't do well talking to my bosses and people like that. It frightens me. Genuinely frightens me. I've always been that way. Doesn't matter how nice my bosses are. Talking to them, messaging them. I was and still am quite good friends with one of my bosses. When I worked there, we started at the same level and then she was promoted above me, which is fine. I didn't want the promotion. But she was promoted above me and became my boss. And we were still really good friends. And even then, as soon as she became my boss, I was like, I don't want to phone you. I don't want to talk to you about boss things. It scares me. You're my boss. I've always been like that. So it's not a reflection on my bosses or anything like that. I'm a nervous nerris. I really am. I'm a terrified person. But yeah, if I can reduce my hours, that works. And then maybe if I stay on top of the house, maybe I can just save for longer. Just like squirrel some money away. And Dell's not going to be unemployed forever. Could we all keep our fingers crossed out there, please, for Dell to find employment? Because once Dell finds employment, things are going to get a little bit easier. Or at least I hope they will. They were before. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what the year brings us. I am learning that sometimes you just have to let things go. Go with the flow, see what happens, and things tend to work out all right in the end, don't they? I mean, hopefully. Oh, let's just keep things crossed, eh? Things will be all right in the end. Dell will get a job. We'll get all the projects done. The house will look beautiful and amazing and wonderful. And yeah. I'm just hoping beyond hope. I mean, me and Dell have been together, 21 years now, nearly? And we're getting there. I know it don't often seem, to me anyway, that we're any further along than when we first started. everything's still a bit shabby, still a bit run down. We're still not as financially buoyant or stable as I'd like to be. It still seems like we're fighting and struggling and we're not getting anywhere. But actually, I think we kind of are. I think we are. We're not where we want to be by any stretch, but I think we're getting there. And hopefully just keep making these daily steps and just keep going. And hopefully one day it'll all figure itself out. But until then, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.